Okay, class, this is going to be a demo on how to prep your final paper in terms of making a table of contents, page numbering, and breaking the sections. So we start out with this Word document. So what I've pre-built a document with the title page, okay, the table of contents, where that would start, the executive summary, and the main section. Okay, so essentially those are going to be three sections that we have to create. That will be step number one. Now remember, the title page does not get a page number. So what we're going to do is scroll down. We're going to make a break between the title page and where the table of contents starts. Okay, so what you want to do is put your cursor near the bottom of this page. Okay, then we're going to go up to layout where you see breaks. Click on that and go down to, it says next page. You're going to click on that. It's going to be an insert section break and start the new section on the next page. Okay, so if it's cursor's at the bottom of page 1, title page, it's going to bump down to the next page where the TOC is. Okay, so the cursor just dropped, and you want to just kind of clean up and bring the TOC back up a bit. Okay, so now the cursor's here. Now we need to make this a break. Okay, so this is a break, and we want to start numbering the table of contents. Now, what you're going to do is go to Insert, go to Page Numbering, and go to Format Page Numbers. Very important. Click on that, and you have a couple different formats. As I've sort of preached through the semester, the table of contents will begin, it's as if it's page 2, but it's going to start with Roman numeral 2. Okay, so the format's going to be in Roman numerals. Click on that, and you want to start actually at Roman numeral 2, okay, as we indicate here, and click OK. Okay, now we have to go back and insert some page numbers. Click on page number. I like to use bottom of page. You can use whichever you want. I think the bottom right is clean and looks nice for me. So I'm going to click on that. It's plain number 3. Now, before you do anything, if you look here, there's a little box that's surrounding link to previous. What you want to do is click on that, and that creates the break. Okay, so we're going to click on this, scroll up, and this, you'll see this actually, it puts a number 1 on the title page. We do not want that. So what you can do is click here, click there, and hit delete. Okay, and we want to remove the header and the footer, so just close that and click Save. Okay, now let's just see how we look so far. Title page does not have a number, that's good. Table of contents, start, has a Roman numeral 2 at the bottom, that's good. And the executive summary should have Roman numeral 3. Okay, now main section will have the Roman numerals. We're going to get rid of those in a second. Okay, but just to show you that we don't want that. We'll fix that in a second. So that looks good. table of contents, that section looks good. Now we need to make a break between the executive summary and the main section where you start writing your paper. Okay, so again, you want to put your cursor here. Okay, and whoops, yep, okay, put that there. So Roman numeral 2 is at the table of contents. Roman numeral 3 is where the executive summary is. We want to bump, now we do want to make a section break from here to the main section. So same process, go to layout, go to break, go to click on that same tab again, insert a section break and start next section on the next page. Click. Now it bumps down to the main section. Again, you just want to fix it by hit delete once. Okay, that gets a cursor at the top. Okay, now we want to insert some page numbers. This is where page 1 actually begins. So go to Insert, Page Number, Format. We need to check out the format first. This is going to be that format, and it's going to start on page 1. Okay, so we click OK. Okay, if you want to hit Save just to save all that, just to make sure. Now we want to insert some page numbers, and it should overwrite the Roman numeral numbers that are there right now. So insert, go back to page number. Again, bottom of page, I prefer this. Click on it, and let's just see what happens. Now it should not, because there are already some numbers, Roman numeral, it should not put any numbers on that previous section. Let's just go see. Good, okay. So that's the executive summary, that looks good. Let's go down to here, page 1 of the main section, and it should have page 2 of the next section, and so forth, okay. Click Close Footer and Header, click Save, and let's go back and make sure everything looks clean. Okay, title page, table of contents, Roman numeral 2, executive summary, Roman 3, main section is going to be page 1. Okay, now check this out. This is kind of the cool part. We're going to build a table of contents automatically. You're not going to have to do it and eyeball it like you've with the leaders and so forth. So main section, that would be, we can rename this if you want. Let's call this part 1. Okay, whoops. Part 1, company background, right? Okay, and that is a heading 1. Now, in order to generate the table of contents automatically, what you need to do is basically code this as a heading 1. And the way you do that is do this. It's going to be a heading 1, but we need to fix this. And we need to give it some attributes. So I'm going to right click, modify. Heading 1 is Roman numeral, 12 point, black, and click OK. Okay. So anytime you want to make something at heading 1, you highlight it and click on that. Okay, so that's a heading 1. Let's make a couple of heading 2s. Mission statement. Remember that? Maybe that's one. It's a heading 2. And value statement, okay? And management. And we'll say one more, philosophy of the company. Okay? Okay, so we need to make these, we want to make these all heading 2. Okay, so what you do is highlight it, heading 2, but we might want to see what the attributes of a heading 2 are. Right click and modify. Make it Times New Roman. 12 point. Black. And left aligned. Okay. And OK. Click OK. And that's it. So kind of save that. Now every time you want to make another subsequent heading 2, you highlight it and click on this. So this is going to be a heading 2. Highlight it, click. This one, highlight it, click. Another way you can do it, just to show you another option, you could actually highlight it, one that's already been a heading 2, hit this format painter, and copy this. So those are 2 ways to do it. Save that. Now let's go down and let's put a conclusion. Conclusion for part 1. Okay, this is going to be a heading 2 that we've talked about. Okay, highlight it, and you can either look for it here, or you can go here. Okay, and I tagged it as a heading 1. Sometimes it'll bump it over. You need to just center that and get rid of that. Okay, and then save it. Okay, so now that is a heading 2. So if you go off it, and if you get off it and then click on it, it should, now it's coded as a heading 1. Okay? Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's do part 2. Okay, so we have part 2 is industry, right? Industry. Okay. Now we can highlight this. We want to call that a heading 1. Click. Tag it as a heading 1. It sometimes will bounce over, but just center that, and you're good. Okay. Now, part 2 might have a few H2, meaning heading 2s. It might be the demographics. Okay. It might be competition and target. So we want to make these H2. Now it's pretty easy. You can highlight it. You can actually do them all at once, highlight them all if you want, but it's just, and then, but we'll just do them individually. You can go here and tag it as a heading 2. Copy here. You can find it at this point. Tag it as a heading 2. Or you can highlight it, click on Format Painter, and now it's a heading 2. And now we want a conclusion for part 2. Okay, now it's getting pretty easy, right? Highlight it and look for heading 1. Okay, it gets bounced over, and just go ahead and center that. And if you're not sure, click on it. Whoops, click on it and see what comes up. heading 1. Okay, so it's tagged as a heading 1. Save that. Now we're going to go back and build a table of contents. This is, you'll like this part. Here, we're going to delete that in a second, but I'm going to go here. Now, to build a table of contents, go to Reference, okay, and there's a tab that says Table of Contents. Click on this, and you can use one of 3 methods, the table 1, 2, or 3. I like to use kind of the simplest one, and the cleanest is this one. Okay, I'm going to click on it, and boom, it grabs everything that you've coded as a heading 1, heading 2, and lays it out. You might have to clean it up a bit, but let's make sure it looks good. Once you have this, it's all double spaced. Okay, all the leaders, these little dots, are clean and straight. You don't have to, type that in. I'm going to delete this for a second because that was really a placeholder. And I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it center that word, call it table of contents. Okay, and clean this up a bit, highlight it, centered. Okay, we want it Times New Roman 12 in black. Okay, and save that just to make sure it's clean. So let's see if we captured everything. It looks like we're missing one thing, and we have the, and by the way, table of contents only includes heading 1 and heading 2s. If you happen to use a heading 3, let's say you're in grad school or you're doing a thesis or a dissertation or something, and you have multiple headings, which you can, the table of contents typically only picks up and shows heading 1 and 2, even if you have a heading 3 within there. Okay, so we have mission, value, conclusion, part 2, all the pieces, and conclusion. So it looks like we're kind of missing part 1, that's missing, and we're missing the word executive summary. So here's a little tab you can, if you want to change the format of the table of contents, this is a tab you want to update it. So it looks like we forgot a few things. So let's go here. So executive summary got moved around a bit. Get that back in place. Okay. Let's make sure it looks okay. Good. Now we need to make executive summary a heading 1. Okay, because it's not appearing on the table of contents. I'm going to hide it, highlight it, encode it. Heading 1, again, center it. Okay. Go back, go down. It looks like we left off this. I'm going to highlight it, tag it as a heading 1, center. Okay, we can save it. Now it will automatically repopulate back into the table of contents. So you don't have to redo this or fix it. All you have to do is click on Update Table, Update Entire Table, click OK. And now it just inserted Executive Summary. Part 1 and Part 2 is there. Okay, so everything's here, and you basically are done. Actually, if you want to make that bold, that should probably be bold, as well as all the other heading 1 and heading 2. So Now, if you want to, let's say you have this table of contents, you can put your cursor, and I've got it at philosophy, and I can hit Control plus link, and it takes me there. Now it acts as a nice finder. Okay. So let's go back to the top. We're going to save it. And remember, some of this is going to be bold. Table of contents. Got bold it.